enemy. But then they also, a lot of games make the same mistake about giving you a lot of weapons, but they never give you ammo for them. But this is one of the things that I really love about Resistance 3 is that they give you all these crazy exotic weapons, but then they continuously give you the ammo to be able to use them all the time. So you run up on enemies, and if you've got a couple enemies, you can just shoot them with a shotgun, or if they're close up. If you've got a bunch of them that are far away, you can use, there's that gun that shoots through walls, like the X-ray gun, or...
What's a gun called? The Augator or something like that?
The Auger.
Yeah. Which is a cool-ass weapon, man. It's almost not even fair to use that weapon.
and that, plus the fact that they introduced this little experience point, this little upgrade system with the weapons, where the more you use a weapon, it gets different properties. Like it shoots slightly differently, it shoots, in different ways.
Like the shotgun has like flaming rounds and stuff will set your enemy on fire.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely encourages the player to not just stick with one weapon, to not just pick the machine gun because it works, then use that one weapon through the entire game. And I really appreciated that. I mean, the thing is that I bitched so much about the story earlier, but I really liked the gameplay here. I thought it was fun, it was snappy, and just rolled right along.
I completely agree with that. I think that this is how a first-person shooter should be done due to the variety of enemies that you get. You don't just get like your standard alien with a gun or whatever. There's different types. There's some that fly. You get like little zombie aliens. You get a giant bug. So every single time you come across a different enemy, you have to figure out which is the best weapon to use. And I thought that was great, and I also think it should be kind of standard in a first-person shooter game, where the gun you use complements the situation you're in.
Yeah, and you know what? To elaborate on what you guys are saying, just a fine adjustment like that, not only to this game series, but to the shooter overall, where you have so much fun being able to try to figure out, as you go through your weapon wheel, which weapon to use is a lot of fun itself, but it's even better that you can level up those weapons by just using them. And I know you said this already, Jeff, but what I'm saying here is that because these weapons level up on their own while you're using them, it doesn't disrupt gameplay. In fact, it enhances gameplay because you have to fire it off to build it up. So it's not like you have to go to a store or you got to go someplace to upgrade the weapon. Just use it. Just kill something with it, and you're making it better. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Definitely.
And you definitely get excited when you find a new weapon. It's like that biogun that has diseases.
The mutator, yeah.
Mutator, yeah. As soon as I picked it up, I was like, oh, hell yeah, man. I can't wait to find some people to kill with this thing.
I'll tell you what, though. I want to know where the upgrades for the giant-ass hammer are. Because I would have used the hammer through the entire back quarter of the game if it had turned into a laser hammer or something by the time I was done.
But you'd use the hammer against the giant spider that comes against you. It's like,
absolutely,
what a real badass is.
Yeah. And another thing that I like about this is that your health system. I mean, there's really small things here that just kind of make the game slightly above average. Your health system here.
They've gone back to the original where you have to find health packs, but it's not frustrating finding them. There's enough around, but I think it makes when you fight enemies, like, makes you tense, enough that you might not make out of this alive unless you execute your plans accordingly.
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's like we always complain about health packs. In fact, Nick, I think you said that was a big peeve of yours. Just
you know what?
Health packs, but in games today, especially in shooters, all you have to do is wait it out. I mean, it's kind of average now to get shot, hide behind something, duck and cover, wait for your health to rise up on its own, and then you get back into the action. This game presents more of a challenge because unless you go out into the fray and find whatever the equivalent of a health pack is, these little glowing green alien modules, you have to go out and actively find those and pick those up. Otherwise, you're going to get more diminished as you get shot. So it adds a lot more challenge to the game.
It's more challenging, but it's not as bad as the old games back in the early 2000s where it was fucking hard to find a health pack, and there were no save points in those days. So I think the save points and the health packs really did piss me off. This is not so much so, in a sense, because if you're careful enough, you'll survive, and there'll probably be a health pack around the corner.
Well, pretty much what it tells you to do is like, hey, look, either I can sit here and die and just continue to get shot, or I could I might get shot when I go out there and die, but I have to go out there and find a health pack. Either way, I'm fucked. So, if the game forces you to be active, you just can't hide through the whole thing.
I had kind of forgotten how much I actually like not having recharging health, because I can't count the number of times in this game where I had 4 shots left in my gun and one little sliver of health. You could hear the chimera growling on the other side of the wall, and just like, all right, let's do this. Just run. I hope that guy's got some ammo and a health pack, because if not, I'm fucked up.
Yeah, there's a Chimera standing behind you, like, hey, come and get it. You want this, you know it. You're gonna die if you don't have it. Yeah, the game forces you to like go out there and take risk and fight. I mean, it pretty much pushes you. And like I said, small touches like that make the game above average. But I still think, when it's all said and done, it's still not a terribly innovative game, especially for a game that has gone on this long for 3 games.
I mean, the gameplay is solid, but the story is kind of ridiculous, and there's just not a lot of incentive to keep coming back. I mean, it's a good kind of like 8-hour romp, and then they've got the multiplayer on top of that. But all in all, story matters so much to me that when a game has good gameplay and a bad story, it really tears me apart, because it's like, what do you do with that? I love the story, or I love the gameplay, but the story was such garbage that.
Really? And what about Killzone 3? Like, that game has even less story than in this one, but it's like, I don't think the storyline is really that important. It's just aliens invading.
Hey, at least in Killzone 3, they picked up directly from the end of Killzone 2 and kept referencing the things that happened in that game throughout. I mean,
it was space Nazis, Jeff. Come on,
you know what? I liked what was going on in Resistance 1 and 2. I liked the Nathan Hale angle, and then they got into this whole genetic experimentation thing, and the way it was going, it was still kind of a mystery. And it so bummed me out when I started up this game, and it's like they just lit a match to all that story and said, fuck it, we're starting over.
Well, I could forgive a lot of the gameplay here. I really could. If they didn't have some glaring, obvious, just in-my-face glitches. Like, the AI in the game is terrible. As I keep stating, I haven't played Resistance. You want to know why I haven't played Resistance? Because the Chimeras scare me. They're tall, they got 5 eyes or something, they got sharp teeth. I'm like, I'm intimidated by these things. I start to play the game, I'm like, these are the dumbest sons of bitches ever that I've faced in the game. They're not challenging at all. They pretty much want to be shot. You're going down the road in a boat, and they start jumping on the boat. They don't hide, they don't cover, they just get right in front of your face and say, hey, shoot me, man. I'm depressed or whatever. I don't know.
I can argue against that, Corey, because there's 2 different types of chimera.
I know what you're going to say. Ones are the smart chimera, ones are the wild chimera.
Yes, that's right. What? Bang on right, yeah. These are the fucking, they're called feral and they're idiots. They're supposed to be.
Stop making excuses for this whack-ass gameplay. Don't do that.
At the beginning of the fucking game, all right?
No, that's an excuse, and I will not let that pass. The AI, and I'll tell you why I can't do that. Because you try to say there's a difference. Jeff, I got to come correct with this.
If they didn't establish that, then fine. But they did.
But let me tell you what happened here. I'll explain this. All this old smart Chimera versus dumb Chimera bullshit. The reason why that doesn't work with me is because even the smart Chimera are stupid as shit. I counted about 5 times where my allies, my friends, are standing right next to a Chimera, right next to them, and they're not fighting each other. Nobody's hitting each other. The Chimera, they're pretty much about to make out or something. They're so close. And they don't do shit until they see me.
You know what? They were probably solving their differences. They were going to come to make peace, and then you come and shoot the Chimera in the face.
The way it looked like to me is like they were talking. It was like, hey, man, so I heard you got a new baby. Yeah, I do. Oh, wait, shit, get the fuck out the way. There goes Joe, man. I got to get that motherfucker. And it's like, I don't.
That fuck is crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you met him? He is a dick, man.
Ain't that guy that shot your homeboy, man? Don't worry, I'll get his ass before you move. To see that kind of shoddy AI in a game, I could excuse the wild Chimera if it didn't seem like that was a flaw for every enemy in the game, but there are points where the AI is just terrible, and it's something that's hard for me to like just kind of write off, especially when I'm standing right next to an enemy, and sometimes they're even ignoring me. So I don't know if you guys experience that, but it's not even bad AI up to a point where it's almost like a glitch. So that's something that bothered me, and I had to take major points off of that. Didn't ruin the gameplay for me because it didn't happen a lot, but enough to be noticed. Now, one of the things that I did not play.
I mean, Corey, I I was too busy shooting them to bother looking at like what they were doing with the other guys out there. So I didn't actually notice that. I mean, I didn't have my bird watcher's guide to Wild Chimera out.
Okay, Jeff, fuck you. All right, you and Nick gonna treat me like I'm the bad guy for sitting up here trying to point out bad quality.
We're just saying, mate. We didn't notice it. I think it's just you.
All right. You know what? Somebody else out there saw it. I'm not crazy. All right, I'm not the only one. God damn it, Jeff. Just talk about the multiplayer, man. Because that's something I did not play. You played that.
Yeah, it's pretty vanilla. I mean, it's 16-player multiplayer, which is I didn't even know this. I didn't play Resistance 2 multiplayer, but major drop from Resistance 2 that had 60. I didn't even know PlayStation 3 games had that many people outside like MAG, But it's 2 teams. It's Chimera versus humans. They've got a capture the flag, a territory control, team deathmatch. I mean, all your kind of normal stuff. And then it's got a Call of Duty style unlock system where basically once you get to you start out by unlocking individual loadouts, and then when you get to a certain point, they start giving you points that you can use to unlock secondary abilities and what weapon you want to use and stuff like that. And it's okay. I mean, it's nothing to write home about. I did notice that the frame rate got a little wonky, especially when 6 different people were throwing grenades at you at the same time and energy shields are going off all over the place. But I mean, it was fun, but it was fun in that really generic kind of first-person shooter online meh kind of way. Plus, Sony is finally on board with the Project $10 thing that EA has been doing. So if you don't buy this game, you don't get the code to get yourself online. You've got to go onto the PlayStation Network and spend $10 to be able to play this if you rent it. And not only that, but apparently Sony doesn't even want you to even try it out because they won't give you that free 2 days like everybody else does. You've got to go out there and plonk down your $10 in order to see even if you want to play multiplayer in this game.
And from what you're saying, it doesn't seem like it's even worth it.
If you're an online multiplayer shooter kind of guy or gal and you're looking for something a little bit different, most of the weapons from the single player are in the multiplayer. So if you want to use those crazy weapons like the Bullseye gun has that secondary shot where all the shots go around corners and hit you. I mean, that's in there. The Atomizer, the Mutator, all that stuff is in there. And you can unlock it all through playing the multiplayer. So as you level up, I mean, you're really, really able to just stomp on anybody who wants to play the game casually. So, I mean, if you're interested in a slight change, it could be worth it, but it's not the sort of thing that's going to it's not taking Call of Duty's crown away by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, I hear you. I would say that unless you are a huge fan of the Resistance series, to me, this game is a strong rental. I mean, it's something that you could rent on GameFly and keep for a while and have fun with. There's some replay value here. There's a Game Plus. You can carry all your built-up weapons into a new game, and the replay value is also helped by the fact that you have secondary modes on every weapon. You can continue to experiment on which weapons you want to use.
It's got online co-op as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. It's got online co-op.
But it's not public.
And split-screen co-op as well. You could do it in the same room.
Yeah. The online co-op, though, is not public. So you can only play with friends, with people on your friends list who are playing Resistance 3, which could be, I mean, I've got the loading bar account that I tried to log into to find somebody to play with. Nobody was playing Resistance 3. So
again, not a great game. Weak story, or not even weak, just kind of bland, combined by just okay gameplay. Not anything really innovative. It's a fun game, a very fun game, but not enough for me to say you got to go out there and buy it. If you rent it, keep it for as long as you want to. You'll be perfectly fine.
I'd say a rental too. I mean, it's the sort of thing where the gameplay is fun enough, but just like I said before, it's about 8 hours worth of good, just solid first-person shooter fun, and then after that, I'd be hard-pressed to tell you a reason why you should start the game over again or why you would want to play it multiple times. And the multiplayer, if that's your thing, I mean, give it a shot, but it's nothing. It's no big shakes. So I'd say solid rental, nothing more.
I think you guys are picky as hell, I got to say. I'd give this game a full price, is what I'm going to say. I think the gameplay is great. I think the variety of weapons and enemies is fantastic. The world is also really good. I think the story that you guys are picking on is just a lubricant to get to the hardcore action. So, full price.
I think you need some lubricant because you get fucked if you pay full price for this game like you did.
So shut up.
If you go to New York, if there is any chance at all to give Jack a better life...
What are you saying?
You'll do your best, right?
We fight or we die. My family! I'll find them! I promise!
I did like you said. I tried my best.
My God.